Good morning, everybody. Guess what? It's AJay, the CEO here. Thank you so much for joining me. We try and do this every Friday where we try and answer some of your media ministry questions to try and help you out as best as we possibly can. I am AJay, the CEO. Thank you so much for stopping by and really appreciate it. Let me take I got to wait for it to catch up so I can get my audio cued in to make sure. So give me a half a second to wait for YouTube to catch up so I can see and hear everything. And I got my intro down, right? I even got the on button. All right, so the audio sounds good to me. Hey, folks, again, AJay, the CEO, thank you so much for stopping by. I got to make sure I'm lined up here. We are on a bunch of platforms today, so I'm going to be balancing between a bunch of stuff. Oh, I didn't bring up Twitch here. But, hey, we're talking about multiple streams of ministry, folks, where we try and hit up as many places as possible. And that's what we's be doing. And let me mute me here. So thank you so much again. I'm thinking about doing this, folks, because I know I'm getting ready to go to California for Vid Summit, which I am super duper excited about. Doing and learning and bringing a lot of that knowledge to y'all. So we have our roundtable, but I'm thinking about moving it to Saturday because I know a lot of people have been saying they haven't been able to chime in because Sunday's kind of tough. And again, I know that people are having service on Saturday. I was thinking about doing it this afternoon, but my daughter has gymnastics, so I'm not able to do it then. Be on the lookout on Facebook, folks. Make sure you're on Facebook so you can see. I may move it to Saturday, um, just so people can get in, and we might do it a little bit early. I'm waiting for my daughter's mom to get back in town, and she's going back with her mom. So that's the only thing I'm waiting on to determine the time. But again, if you don't mind, I see we got like 45 people on YouTube. We got some other folks on Twitch. We got some other folks on Facebook. So please, folks, no matter which platform you're on, could you please like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell notification, share these videos with anybody, because guess what? Just like I ask y'all for me, do that for your church too, because it helps the algorithms on all these platforms put this out in front of more people. So I really appreciate it. If I don't get to your question, know that you can hit me up at questions@ajayhomes.com, and we'll get back to you as fast as we possibly can. Within 72 hours, I am taking my laptop with me, and California is a time change, so I will try to respond, but hey, I'm out there to learn. I'm also going to be visiting a church. Somebody was on here, and they saw that I was going to be in California, so the conference doesn't start till Tuesday, but I'm getting out there Monday, and we're going to visit a ministry in Lancaster, California, I believe, Monday afternoon. So, we're going to be coming there and helping out another ministry, and then taking whatever I learned there, flip it so we can use it for ministry. And I'm going to share it with y'all, folks. So really excited about that. What else am I forgetting? Also, if you ever have any questions, you want me to do an on-site, or you want to have a phone call, you want to have a Zoom meeting, a Google Meet, whatever, folks, you can hit me up at ajayhomes.com/consultations. And really excited about that. We got a bunch of exciting stuff coming in, folks. We got another PTZ coming in from, and I got the name right the first time I said it, A-Video1 that we did the joystick for. That's what I'm using right now. We have a PTZ that's coming in from them that we're going to be doing in a review. We have a 4K PTZ camera coming in from Panasonic, as well as a remote for that. I'm really excited about that. We also have another PTZ for my European market, folks out in Europe, South Africa, Africa, Asia, that whole side of the continent. We got a vendor that's sending a product that only caters to y'all's area. Going to be doing a review for them. And then give them a big shout out for if you're looking for PTZs. I've done all these PTZs over here, but I hear y'all, some of the cameras that I review are not available in your area. Thankfully, we now have a vendor that you may want to look into once we get the product, and be on the lookout. Make sure you have bell notifications on for all notifications so that you don't miss all of that. Now, I'm doing a whole lot of prop to get this stuff out of the way so we can get to your questions, but folks, this is the guy who's actually organizing the vid summit that I'm going to, guys, for your ministry. If you don't have this book, you are missing something. I've read the introduction, which is by Mr. Beast, but then I sat down and just read 3 chapters nonstop. And yes, it's talking about making money and influence on YouTube, but when you read it, if you have a kingdom mindset, you will see that there is wisdom for your ministry in this book. And I'm going to be doing a book review of this when I finish this, and taking some of the things as well and sharing them with y'all. So I think I've blabbed enough. Let's go ahead and get some shout outs here to some folks. Carriers of the Covenant Ministry, thank you so much. Good morning. I've answered some questions because I was here early. I prepared, but I'm going to cycle back and get to some other stuff as well too. Anthony, what's going on, sir? Mr. Clarence, good morning, good morning. Parker, hello. And I got my cup of water here behind me. Let me put that over there so it's not near none of this. Who else we got out here? Carl, hello, good morning. Brian Jones, good morning. Darius, hello. I don't know if I said it. I think I did say this. If I was ever had a son, the plan was to name his name Darius Samuel, because my grandfather's first name was Samuel. His middle name was Arthur, but they always called him Arthur. My dad, Arthur Holmes Sr., he was called Arthur Jr., and that's why I'm called AJ, to separate. So gave y'all a little bit of info about me. Willie, good morning. Lady Deborah, good morning, good morning. Streets of Destiny, I got your question. I'm going to get to you. Good morning. Keith, what is going on? We got Jackie chiming in from Facebook. Hey, good morning. Mike, what is going on, folks? I might even get a little happy dance in here for a second. People that know my story, folks, it is 4 years today. 4 years today. Ain't God good? Yes, he is. He turned it. Yeah, never mind. About to get me happy out in here. John, hey, good morning, good morning. Norm, hello, hello. That's page 3. Cletus, I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but hey, hello, sir. How you doing? My apologies. I was getting ready to say Callus, which was my father-in-law's name, but my apologies there. T, what is going on? Philip Paul, hello, hello. Mitch Roy, hello. Monty, the man, the myth, the legend. What's going on, sir? Let's see. Michael from Facebook, hello, hello. Jermaine, hello, hello. Jean Leo? It looks like there's a little bit of French in there, but correct me if I'm wrong, and my apologies if I spelled your name wrong. Moses, I will come back to you here in a second. Bruce Adams, hello, hello. Let's see. Ty, what is going on? Robert, hello, hello. Reverend Richard, hello, good morning. Mark, what's up? Aaron from Jacksonville, Florida, what's up? Ray B, what is going on? I think we've caught up so much, folks, and I think I already did my shameless plug of asking y'all to like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let me go back here. So Carers of the Covenant wanted to know, where did I get the search template that you were going to use as a thumbnail? All of my stuff that I get is from Envato Elements. Hey, I paid for the license for a year, so I put the most use of it for anything. And if we cut over here, let me get rid of this, and then let's cut over here. So right here, and if you wanted to know about that DVE transition that we just did, I did a video about that as well too. But I get all my stuff from here. So if I was doing a search, I'll come over here to, well, actually, let's do search bar. So I'll find a lot of the stuff in here. This was the one that I was actually using right here. I get all of my stuff from here for my graphics, my templates, and all this other good stuff. And now that I think about it, it was something I was supposed to do. I downloaded Service Sunday, and I uploaded this, and I meant to download this because a video I'm going to work on is, I'm not a sports person, but one thing that I am working on doing is making highlight reels of the service. So I was going to do a video of that, which is going to be a template that I get from here. So if I go back here and I would do highlight video template. I'm looking for something like that, almost kind of like a music video type of thing. I want to get some highlights to accent, and I can't remember which one that I had. But I will bring y'all along with me when I do that, because this is me doing something new. Also, we're going to starting to do a series of videos because we're getting close to our Bible trivia at Signs and Wonders, as well as Gates of Faith Ministries. My friend Jay Kyle is being named as be installed as the co-pastor of Gates of Faith. So waiting for those events to paying down, but we're going to do a collaboration between different ministries. And you never know, if you're in the Virginia area, we might want to get y'all involved, because the idea is to go to a bunch of ministries, do this Bible trivia at each ministry, and then we're going to bring everybody together into a mass competition. How would you like to have a Bible trivia with 11 different churches competing against each other for maybe, I don't know, $1,000, $5,000? Don't know. You haven't set the price. Don't hold me to that. You never know. You might be able to give away a 4K PTZ. You never know. I don't know. Don't hold me to any of that stuff. But again, that's the whole goal of what we're working on doing. We want to do this influence stuff to reach and impact other folks. But yeah, so I get stuff from here. Now, the plan with them is, I think it's $195. But again, that includes video, stock video, templates, music, sound effects, graphics, still graphics, presentations, photos, add-ons, web templates. If you're doing a lot of creativity and stuff with your ministry and you want to do video templates, you want stock footage, all this other stuff, this is a great bang for your buck. This is around like $197 for a year of unlimited stuff. I use this for my clients. I use it for my ministry. I use it for my YouTube channel. So it's very flexible of what you can use it for. And then for my music, I do all my stuff through Epidemic. I've been using them for 3 years. I'm thinking about switching to Artlist just for a year to see how it goes, but you never know. But that's where I got it from. So very long answer, but there you go. Let's see. Carl wants to know, is OBS needed if you have an A10 Mini Pro? No, it is not needed, but you can use it. Just like right now, I am using an A10 Mini Extreme to do this, but I'm sending all of this through vMix because ATEM can't do this, can't do the comments and stuff like that. So I use the software to add this on top of everything. And great segue for that is for all y'all Mac people who have been asking. We have Ecamm Live on here. I am studying this and doing a tutorial for that. So like I said, we're going through all the softwares. I purchased it myself. I sent the email out to Ecamm Live, never heard back from whatever. We went ahead and bought a license, and we're just going to do a review on that as well too. We also purchased the full version of Pro Presenter. So yay, now we don't have to have that watermark when we do stuff. So we'll be implementing more stuff with that as well too. Yeah. Investing for the business owners out there, invest in you, invest in your business. That's what it's all about. It's not about me spending money just to be spending money. Everything that you see around here, me moving to this house, was all an investment in business as well as giving back to the ministry that I have. That's what we talk about that 4 years, folks. Anyway, Anthony wants to know, has a question that he's new to the ATEM family. How can I use the picture-in-picture feature on the ATEM? Well, Anthony, that is very, very simple. Hold on. Oh, I got one here. Don't knock over the water. All right, so here's the ATEM SDI. And if we have the picture-in-picture buttons are right here. So these top four on the ATEM Mini, you're going to have only these four buttons right here. This will show you the position of you want camera 1, HDMI input, or input number 1 by default. That's what goes. And then you just hit the on and off, and I just hit myself in the head right here. That will turn it on. So if I turn mine on right now, and I'm set to be in the lower right, input number 1, if I turn that on, there you go. It's a mini me right here in the corner. If I change the different positions, and actually, let me do this as a super source here. So right now, this is super source. This is completely different. I can still turn this on, and you see I'm right here. Now, that's what this is. If I turn this off here, that's where that controls. Inside of palettes, if you go to the upstream key number 1, that is the controls of where these buttons go. They are preset. You can't change them. So right now, if you look at the position, it is showing that I'm in the lower right because of the coordinates, the X and Y coordinates. If I change this to the preset button of the lower left, you see the number changed to -12. If I do upper, now change to -12, 2.5, and you see my positions and you see the numbers right here changing. That's what that is. Now, the buttons on the ATEM are preset no matter what you do. So I can come in here and say I want to change the size of this to 0.7, and you see I'm right here. And I can move this and put whatever number in here that I wanted. Let's do -8. I'll move over here, and then we'll do 2, and I'll move up. So that's what this buttons do. But the instant I press any of these position buttons on the ATEM, boom, it goes right back to that size. You cannot change the settings on those buttons. Those are pre-programmed. So if you, like me, I have my super source. This was a custom super source that I have set. If I hit any of, get my mouse back over here. If I hit any of these preset positions, it will wipe out the setting that I have. So you can make as many as you want. If you want to put that a custom picture-in-picture, all you have to do is do save. Oop, not that. I messed up. Do save as, call it whatever, and I'll just call it test. And it's going to check off everything in here. We can select none, and I just want to save my super source. I want to save my keys, any of those, and that will give you what it would just save just that position. You can always do it as a macro to always make it back. And I owe y'all a macro video. I will get back to that as well too. But hopefully that helps you there, sir. All righty. Let's see. Let's go to our next one here. I hope everybody's doing great. We had a lot of discussion on that last video I did. The rant video. Again, I want it to foster conversation, because there's a lot of things in the body of Christ, in church, in media, whatever, dealing with the church that we don't talk about. Let's just call it what it is. Churches are the last one to embrace technology. Most of the time they pay a premium because they waited to the last minute. They demonize everything, mainly because they don't understand it. And it's just a false sense of security of hiding behind that. That's really what it is. And then, and then we don't talk about money, which needs to be done. That's why we have a lot of Christians that are ignorant when it comes to money. And we need to explain that stuff. That's why I don't try and hide from y'all when I talk about business. What I do, I try and tell y'all how I run my stuff, how I do it, hopefully to make your journey a little bit easier. Now, I don't do that on videos because no one has asked me to do it. I do it normally when people have reached out to me behind the scenes and stuff like that. I am very transparent to try and help, because I didn't really have that many people that helped me when I got started, and that's something I didn't like. So I told myself I wasn't going to replicate that. Let me bring up my other browser, make sure I'm not missing out on anybody on Facebook and Twitch. Okay, I see your question, Michael. I will get to it. Let's see. Back to Carl. He was saying, good morning to everyone. I told Bethany Baptist Church and Syracuse Media Department that they didn't need OBS if needed, if they're using the ATEM Mini Pro for streaming their church services. Yes, that is correct. And like I said, let me remote in to Signs and Wonders system, and I will show you the reason why I added back OBS at church, where ultimately we're probably going to change it and put vMix there, to be quite honest with you. So if I'm over here, let's go ahead and log in. So I have OBS mainly for the purpose of I want to separate the online congregation with, and I'm still not going to do that version yet, the online congregation and the in-person congregation. So when we're in church and everything is off right now, that's why you don't see anything, I'll have this up, and this would show directly a feed from the ATEM. So if the camera was on, that's what they were seeing. Actually, let me turn the camera on. I don't think nobody's there at the church, so it's not going to catch nobody off guard. Turn that on. And I will, there you go. So it just turned on because I just went to two screens. And let me go back to my one screen. And I'm just waiting for the PTZs to turn on. But the main thing is, so normally Judah, the praise team, They are practicing up to 20 minutes before service starts, and they still haven't put the glass in. Joy. So anyway, and it cycles again, so that'll be back up. So they practice, but just like you saw, we're putting up scripture. I mean, not scripture. We're putting up the lyrics that they're practicing for what they're going to sing during service. And they normally, I want to give them the freedom to go as long as they want to, up to 20 minutes before the live stream goes live. So instead of making all the musicians being quiet and hitting buttons on the mixer so that only certain audio goes out, don't want to do that. What we want to do is we separate this. So while this is going on inside the sanctuary, everybody else is seeing this. And then when everybody's ready, then I can bring this over. That's the reason why I separate it. And then sometimes we get into points where we have altar call and it's more personal and there's certain things that don't want to go out and pastor doesn't want it to go out. I want to be able to end the live stream for everybody who's watching online, but we can still continue and it's distraction free inside the sanctuary. That's the reason why I do both. And then also just like with the plugins and things like that. And I did a capture because I was doing something. Here, this is where I'm still using the animated lower thirds right now in here to do the stuff that I have here in the middle of service. Our like, subscribe, Pastor Taylor is lower third, Dr. Taylor's lower third, our online giving. And I do stuff like that. And then especially if we had issues in the service, that's when we're able to go to the technical difficulties. Anybody who's looked at the OBS Complete Bundle, I've updated that to include all of these extra items. This technical difficulties is a little bit different than what's in the bundle, but you still got all of that stuff as well too. That's the reason why I use vMix with my ATEM, or I'm using OBS soon to be, and there's my box of Ethernet cable. I left it there. Anyway, that's what I got. So I'm going to leave this on for right now because I got to go back there anyway and add a security camera inside of here, 3 more security cameras outside the church. But that's it. Hope that helped. John, AJ, how do you go about troubleshooting wireless mic seemingly RF issues? I did 2 hours of testing last night and can't replicate issues we had with our seminar last night. Yeah, see, something like that is kind of difficult. Kind of like what you mentioned, I go through everything, but uniquely, when you have a lot of people's gadgets and stuff like that in the church, that's something you really can't test for because it's so much stuff, that you don't know what's inside somebody's book bag, purse, whatever. Again, what I like to do, just kind of like what you said, I just turn on every single mic and I have everything on as possible to see if I have any type of frequencies, differences that are noticeable. Now, I'm sure you can get a scanner if you really, really want to do. Now, one thing you could do, now that I think about it, I don't know if it's on the same frequency. So again, don't hammer me. It's been a long time since I've done radio stuff like that when I did in the Marines. But you could, I don't know, sometimes if the Wi-Fi scanner sometimes can pick up frequencies. At least I know the Unify one does a wide range to scan what's in the area. You could do something like that. But again, because it's so much tech, you just don't know what could be causing it. It could be somebody coming in with a walkie-talkie that could throw it off. It could be older mics that are that should have been replaced during FCC since they told us that we had to get off this certain bandwidth. It could be a bunch of things. So unfortunately, it's just trial and error. What you're doing is exactly how I would do it as well too. Let's see. T, do you need a computer to use the A10 Mini Extreme to live stream? No, you don't need it continuously, but you do need it at least once to set up everything. You need it so you can set up the streaming key and all this other fun stuff like that. So like, for example, turn that off. Let's switch back over here. So I'm here, and as you can see right now, this is the only way you can pick the streaming platform that you're going to and putting the streaming key, and the streaming key is fake. That's the only way you can do that. So again, you don't need something super fancy. You just need something that can run the software just to connect to it, whether it be over the network, over USB. That's all you need for that. You don't need it continuously. Because again, except for me doing demos, I'm controlling everything from the console here. So you don't need the software, but I do have it up when I have questions like when Anthony was asking about how to change the picture-in-picture. You can't do that through the ATEM. You have to, if you want to dial that in and change unique settings for your super source, your picture-in-picture, it has to be done through the software. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? What page? There we go. We are in the process of upgrading our entire video streaming system between Worship Tools as it's is what you know now and ProPresenter Seraphim. Which do you prefer? I like Worship Tools Presenter as a starting off point. If no one has ever used anything, it's a great way to get started because it doesn't cost anything. Now, if you, like, you've seen probably the last couple of churches, I've gone with ProPresenter because it was their setup. Presenter currently does not support NDI built in. So if you want to have multiple displays, your computer has to have multiple display outs. And to start using all those functions, you have to use the paid version, the monthly version. The top version that gives you the functionality is like $15 a month. After a certain period of time, you've already paid for the license of ProPresenter. ProPresenter that I just bought is $399. So 15 times 12, let's do math real quick. That's $150. Take the 10, add the 0, do double, then that's $30. So that's $180 for 1 year. And then you add 2 years, then you're at $360. You're almost at the same price. And let me make sure I did my math right. I'm getting ready to have my math teacher get mad at me. Yeah, $180. It's for 1 year. And then after 2 years, you're at $360. And again, when you're on the presenter license, that's forever, as long as you use it. Now, again, I think it's great. I still use both. But if you know you want to have a stage display, you want to have a display for the audience, then you want to have something separate for the ATEM, that's three unique display outs right there. And then say, just like I do at my church, you throw in an NDI one that just sends the countdown timer. That's 4 right there. So that's what determines when I go from presenter to ProPresenter. So hopefully that helps. Yeah. Let me see. Excuse me for yawning. Where did I leave off at? All right, there we go. We got a bunch of my stuff updated on me, so I missed where I was at. Page 2. I think some other people were, Norm was talking about, largest problem I have with the Shure body packs is the headset wire. Get the stronger one or it won't last very long. I must agree. I had to do the same thing, not with the Shure, but I had to do that with the Rode wireless ones. I had like this cheap flimsy one and that thing got destroyed. Streets of Destiny. Can OBS and Zoom share the same audio input? I hear the audio on OBS is not in Zoom using USB from. Yes, you actually can share the same audio input. You can't share multiple video streams, but you can share multiple audio streams. So like right now, I'm bringing in audio from my Rodecaster. It's going to me. It's going to my X32. It's going to Zoom if I opened it up. Is going to my ATEM, and it's also going to vMix. Audio can go to multiple inputs. Video cannot. Yeah, Mike was like, I like the throwback. Yeah, I like to throw it in there now and then. I still got the license for it, folks. Carl was saying, next time you're in Charlotte, the invitation to Ebenezer Baptist Church doors are open. Now, Charlotte, Charlotte, North Carolina, right? I think I passed an Ebenezer Baptist Church, but I don't think I drove through that way. But sure, I will hold you to that. Keith wants to know if a guest church come in and they stream service to their platform, one, and our church streams to ours, three, how can the service be streamed to the combined churches? OBS, no ATM, screen catcher. Honestly, if OBS, if the computer can support it, well, honestly, to be quite honest, if you do something like that, I would set up Restream just for a month and then just do it that way and have them log in and share the account, or do something with a custom RTMP, which will be the paid version of Restream. Get them to give you their streaming key, and for just that service, make it unique so it's protected. Let them give you the streaming key, and if it's Facebook or YouTube, you already know the streaming URL is the exact same thing. You just need their streaming key and put it that way. Let OBS stream to Restream, and then let Restream go to everything else. Like right now, I'm streaming to Vimeo, and Vimeo is rebroadcasting everywhere for this stream. So let's see. If I go here, my service is downloaded. Let me go here so y'all can see exactly what's going on. So like right now, if I, come on. All right. So if I cut over right now, you're going to see it loop on for infinity here. See it going forever. So see, I'm going to Twitch right now. I'm streaming to Vimeo. Vimeo is rebroadcasting to Twitch and to my Facebook one, but the web presenter is streaming to YouTube. That's what y'all are seeing right now. So that's how I'm doing it. I would do it the same way with Restream. I just do it through Vimeo because that's what I have to use. I think that would be the easiest way. Back to T. Okay, building a presentation PC. Just wanted to see if we needed a streaming PC with the ATEM Mini. No, with the streaming PC, just have the ATEM software run on that and connect it over USB. And that's all you need just to be able to talk to it and do those setting changes. That's it. That's how I did it originally at Signs and Wonders. And then I added another system for the purpose of being able to do other stuff. So that's all you need. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Now, back to this. What's your opinion on Media Shout? I think it's a good start, but I think some other softwares give some advantages over it. I've had a bunch of ministries use Media Shout. I have ones that are still using it and they love it. But then a lot have got to the point where they want it to have more features and functionality. I have not used it recently. If they have a new update, I might need to check into that, but I don't have any issues with it. It's just like with anything else. I've seen a lot of people go from Media Shout to something else. I haven't seen that many people go from something else to Media Shout. So Mike was saying Saturday is preparing for Sunday. Same here. And then he likes Sundays because it's a deep compression time. I agree. But then I also know there are some ministers like my brother-in-law and then Elder Kyle and some other folks. Most of the time when they're decompressing, they just want to just sit and watch football or whatever is on. So I understand that. Let's see. And then Lady Deborah there in Austin, Texas. I think we're going to be trying to go there again sometime soon. Hey, I'm one of my friends. My friend Maya. We've been coworkers for a long time, and now she's an influencer on TikTok and does a whole lot of stuff and got her business that's rocking with stuff like that. But I got her when I first met her. I was telling her about cruises when I was working at a healthcare company. And I kept telling her about cruises, and she was like, Now, this wasn't my friend Sonia that I took. That was a friend from college. This is my coworker. I took her on a cruise going in the opposite direction of Royal Caribbean. And that I went with Sonia, took her on one. And then the next week, her and her family went on the first cruise. And now she reached out, and because of her influence in November, we's going on we's going on this one. Virgin Voyages, the Scarlet Lady. And I'm excited about this because, again, I normally am a Royal Caribbean fan. I don't go anything else, but the fact that I didn't have to pay for double occupancy, all the food is free, no gratuities, and it's adult only. Yay! I love the kids, but hey, I just want to decompress. I'm excited about that. So the first week in November, that's where I will be. So it won't be no live stream that week as well. Also, on the 18th, I think it's the 18th of October, not 18th, the 8th. No, excuse me, the 7th of October. Not so just let y'all know, next Friday, the 30th, we won't have a live stream because I'll just be coming back from California. The 7th is probably going to be a later live stream because all my power is going to be shut off because we got this bad boy is about ready to be installed in the garage. So they have to kill all the power there in the building. So, but if we do have a live stream on the 7th, then we're good. We're just letting y'all know. So the 30th, next Friday, we will not have a live stream. And Windows, with all these stupid notifications that I've turned off, why do you keep showing them when I said I don't want notifications? Anyway, and then possibly the 7th, we won't have one. What I'll probably do, I will probably do a live stream on the 1st, on a Saturday, when I get back. Just let me get time. So October 1st, instead of it being a Friday live stream Q&A, it will be October 1st. And then we might do the same thing on the 8th. I think something's going on the 8th. Anyway, we'll do it on the 7th. I'll let y'all know. Just make sure you got the notifications on, and then that way you won't miss out when we do some stuff like that. All right, let's see. Where did I leave off at? That's page 2, page 1. All right, Jermaine said, we used to do a Bible trivia contest in our jurisdiction. The winners had their trip to the Holy Convocation paid for by the state bishop. See, that's awesome. I like that. I like that. Monty was saying that the eCam community is strong. Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that I don't want to be partial to one thing. And y'all said y'all want me to do videos, and hey, that's what we're gonna work on. Robert wants to know, did I upgrade to version 28 yet? No. Well, actually, yes, but it's on a test system. It's not on anything else that I've had to use. And based on what you said, that's the reason why I haven't done it. When I saw that NDI didn't work, no. Aaron, yes, I have. I've been here for about a month now. So very thankful for that. Javier here. What's the best setup for lyrics and live stream combination machine using Proclaim? Now, is the lyrics and the live stream on the same system? Let me know, and I will circle back to your question. Hey, it's a fact. What they used to call it, what they used to call TV, the one-eyed devil, man, it's like they name off everything. But again, every good and perfect gift comes from God. Everything. So there's a good thing, there's a bad thing on everything. It's just the only reason why we talk about the bad stuff because there ain't enough people using it for the good stuff, in my personal opinion. Carriers of the Covenant said, I've watched you control computers from Chrome desktop remote, but I still have missed how you get admin access, I think. Are you talking about admin or the ATEM access? Which one? Bruce was saying, wow, I never seen this. I've seen hearing aids cause problems with church audio. Wow. John was saying things that maybe someone didn't want the message to get out and brought their signal jammer. Hey, possibly. Bruce also says that also had a neighboring EMS office dispatch center interfere with older wireless mics. The FCC has regulated out the older wireless mic frequencies. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have some stuff because there's a um, EMT and fire department right across the street from me, and they are always going off. Little Man 329. I have one mixer. How can I connect my music instrument to analog mixer to come to the stream only, not the church house? Basically, split the sound. Well, that depends. You could use an aux. It depends on the type of mixer. The aux will give you a different type of setup to where you can send a certain amount of level to whatever channel. Now, even though turn on my X32. Even though I have an X32, the concept is still the same. So where's it at? This is not financial advice, but Tesla stock is trading at $276.58, down 4.16%. All right, so like in here's my. Now, the concept is still the same. This is all digital, but it still comes from the analog. So all of these are mixes or aux. You can call them whatever. And in here, I can set how much goes somewhere. So say I want to use this and this mix, and there's normally a knob under each channel. That's what these bars up here represent. Say I only want my crowd mic to come in. I would just turn that up, and as you can see, that bar is increasing here. So that means that this is the only, and let me change the color so it makes it a little bit easier to differentiate here. I'll do this in red. So in here, if I do this mix bus, it's showing right now that the only thing that is going through right now are these two mics. So if you had just an instrument come in, you can just turn up this aux or this mix only consists of whatever channel you deem appropriate. So I say, oh, the only thing that's coming in on aux mix bus number 3 is channel 10. That's the only thing that's going to come through. And actually, let me mix it to something else. I'll just do channel 9. As you see, 9 is the only thing it's going to. It's not going anywhere else except for main. Now, if you don't want it to go into your house, that's your mix. And then I go to my main, and seed number 9 is not coming to the main, but it is going into to this mix bus, number 3, or your aux. That's the concept. So on your mixer, most of the time, so I don't know if I can pull up a mixer here, for example. I just go to Behringer because I had a Behringer mixer originally. Yes, I'll see if I can use one of these, if I can get a big picture of it. Media top. All right, so in here, let's look for it. This might not have it. I might need another one. All right, let's go back. Let's get a different mixer here. So let me try this one. So let's increase the image here. So see right here are your auxes, the knobs right here. So you got 2 of them. So the idea is, just like you saw me change it on the X32, those knobs are for each channel. So you would turn them up, say you want to use aux number 2, but you only want music from a CD player or your computer to come in. You would just turn up, let this channel be the only one that's sending anything to aux 2, and then on the aux 2 output on the back, you connect that to your stream, and that's how it will work. That's how originally I had it when I was trying to send sound to the live stream that's coming from when I talked about earlier where the praise team is practicing. I wanted to send audio coming from the computer and send that to the stream instead of the instruments playing when they were practicing. And it worked, but it just became cumbersome. But anyway, yes, you can do it that way. So hopefully that makes sense. Anthony, I have the Bible plugin in OBS. How can I get more Bible variations on it? It only came with 3. That's the free version. You got to get the paid version to open up those different variations there, sir. Trey Mosby here. How to use lower thirds in house and on stream using a Windows computer with OBS and ATEM Mini Pro? Well, I mean, that's kind of wide open. How to use lower thirds in-house and on the stream using Windows Computer OBS. Well, I mean, you could do all of that through OBS. You can do that all in the ATEM. I need to know how you have it set up. If you're sending the ATEM Mini Pro to OBS, or are you sending OBS to the ATEM? I need to know that. And then how are your displays connected to your setup? Because you could do everything in the ATEM, just have a computer, whatever that's doing your lower third, sent into an input on the ATEM, and then you send it over. So like, for example, now that we have Pro Presenter, I'll do it with that. And I need to make a shortcut for this since I know I'll be using this more often. I'm just waiting for it to open up. Come on, bro. Open up. Let me turn off the X32. All right, so we are here. So now what I'm going to do is I have display number 2 up. I need to take that away so y'all don't cheat because I'm going to be doing live streams and stuff like that. All right, so we have, if we go to our view here, we have our screens. And I have this one here. Let me identify which one that is. All right, that's my right monitor, so we're good. So how I have this set up, you could do it 2 ways. I have in my ATEM, let's open that up. We're going to go to my DSK. And I have a video talking about this whole thing, so I'm just going to do a quick version of this. We're going to go to here. My DSK1 is set to my right monitor, which is the output from Pro Presenter. So inside of Pro Presenter, if I open up my Bible, and let me actually change my template now that I actually got it here. I'm going to change this to a lower third template. And all right, so I got my stuff here. I don't know what the text boxes are too small for the text. All right, whatever. All right, so I got this here. So it's showing my scripture here in a lower third format. And I'm going to do a video showing this. I actually saw stealing this from Mr. Josh, showing how you can have a multi-view of all your screens at the same time, layouts here. But anyway, I have it set here. I'm using a lower third format. I send this. That is going to the ATEM. All I have to do now is engage the DSK. So if I do that now and just hit the auto on the DSK, you see this. That's how that works. That's all being done through the ATEM, and y'all are seeing it because it's being done through the ATEM, and the ATEM is sending its output to my software, which happened to be vMix, but you could also use it in OBS. So like if I came back over here and opened up OBS, which is going to be real trippy here. Get out of here. Turn that off. Turn that off. And there's something using my ATEM software, so I can't open it up on OBS. But anyway, you're seeing it going to the software. That's how you could do it. Now, if you were doing it a different way, you could do this exact same setup. I did a video on this as well, too, that you're using the animated lower thirds that's inside of OBS and have OBS act as your presentation software, and it is sending itself to the ATEM, and it will work the exact same way. I just need to know which direction you're actually doing your stuff, and then I can help a little bit more with that. So let me minimize this, and let's get to our next one. See, Dave Channel from Trinidad. How do I send videos from my Canon EOS M50 to my laptop 50 feet away? Well, I mean, it's a couple of ways you can do that. You can just get yourself a fiber HDMI cable that will just go from the camera here. That's how I have this camera up here. There's a fiber optic cable, this right here, that runs up to my ATEM. Now, granted, the distance is short, but that's actually a 100-foot cable that I have on the floor. It's just balled up over here because it was cheaper to buy the 100-foot cable than it was to get the 30-foot. If you understand what I mean, the 30-foot was like $40, 100-foot was $45. You could do it that way. You could do a wireless HDMI, have one on the camera and send it to the other side. Honestly, the cable is probably going to be easier for that. S. Ellis, we would really love to have your opinion and suggestions at the Union Church in Dallas. We've kind of been swinging it. Hey, well, look, go ahead and email, set up something here. Me or D will follow back up with you. You never know. I know I've had a couple of people want me to come back in that area, as well as Louisville, Kentucky, as well as Louisiana. We're getting kind of close because for a business standpoint, I shut down my business the last 3 weeks of December for my daughter's birthday and for me to goal set and everything for the next year. So time is skipping away for the rest of this year for business stuff. But I'm on the only thing, I only have one big project I know of that's going into next year sometime, but that's not even on the books yet. But let me know. We can set up something. We come out there and try and do a collab with a bunch of other ministries at the same time and get some stuff done. So just hit me up there and we can see what we can do. Monty was saying Virgin Airlines is amazing. I can only imagine how nice the cruise is. Now, if y'all have never read his biography, read Sir Richard Branson's biography. Man, how Virgin, that whole business started is outstanding. Question is the Extreme or the Extreme SDI? Do you have a preference? Personally, like I'm getting ready to do Shiloh Baptist Church, and I was going to give them the ATEM SDI because they already had SDI connections going to their TVs. That's what I was thinking about doing. But when I calculated out how much it would be for me, because their PTZs are SDI, that's not an issue. But when now I need to get a SDI converter for their computer when it comes into the ATEM, I need to have an SDI converter. Well, now that I think about it, I'm building their computer. I could have put just a mini monitor, whatever. Even if I added a mini monitor to the price, if I added an SDI converter, they bumped up the price. Blackmagic is. So they're $75 each. Is it worth me doing that? If I had everything SDI and I didn't need converters, I would go that direction. I would go with the Extreme SDI. Because again, the SDI Extreme, because it's not a price difference. The reason I'm going with Shiloh's is because it's more economical for me to go with fiber optic HDMI cables for what I'm doing there. Because once I started adding in all the converters, and I had to add them on all the TVs and all the new TVs and all the future TVs, it gets really pricey. So if I was building it from scratch and everything was SDI, oh yeah, I would just do the SDI Extreme. It makes it easy because I don't have to buy converters. The fact that now we're bringing in devices that are mainly HDMI, then I stick with the Extreme. The regular Extreme. Well, sir, back to your question about how do I get admin access? Well, I built all of the systems, and the account, for me to get in there, my account is an admin account. So that's how I'm able to do it. T wants to know, did the price of the RTX 2060 go up on Amazon or that's the price? People are scalping stuff because NVIDIA did some really stupid stuff recently. Because of how they were treating EVGA. EVGA is out of the video game market, a video card market. That's who I use for all of my cards that were NVIDIA. All of my systems here that have NVIDIA cards are EVGA cards. The fact that they're getting out of it, that's a real disappointment. So there are people are scalping the prices, but if they did mark it up, honestly, if you're still looking for a 2060, honestly, get an EVGA one because they got a bunch of stock and they're going to clear out stock, but they're not making any other cards. I kind of want to stay away from Newegg because they've had some issues as well too. It's kind of hard to say. See if you can go directly to. Well, no, you can't go to EVGA's site because I think their site is actually down. Oh no, it's back up now. So let's see what they got here. So if we're back over here, so they had the news where they're stopping, but if we're looking for the 2060, yeah, that's out of stock. So they got this 2060 is going for $229, and it's $130 instant rebate. Wow, that's a deal. I would get it directly from them if you're going to get it, because they have an inventory that they're clearing out. So they have an incentive to do that. I would check that out. Yes, it is. Brian here. My church went from MediaShout 6 to Pro 6 because of some bugs. Then during virus lockdown, they went from Pro 6 to 7 to bring lower thirds over NDI to live. Yeah, awesome. Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, can we control 2 ATEM switches on one laptop through the Ethernet port? Yes, you can. Because, for example, I'm going to turn my other ATEM on right now. And if we go back over to the desktop, so I'm connected to my stream right now. And I'll give it a second. Oh, it's not plugged in. Hold on. I didn't have it connected to I was doing a test. And let's give it a second. There it goes. So now if I connect to this, now I'm connected to the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. So yeah, if they're on the network, yes, one laptop can control them. You can't make any settings changes because you need it to be connected over USB to make those changes. But yes, you can control multiple ones from one. If I turned on the SDI that's here on the floor, that will be connected as well too. Now I see Javier commented. I need to refresh myself on this question. Okay, I already answered that. That's good. Let's see. Price, this. Got that. All right, she's Destiny. My question may have been misunderstood. Audio in from the X32 is via USB to PC. Got that. OBS audio input is X32 and set Zoom like the X32. I hear X32 through OBS, but I don't hear it on Zoom. Doing it that way won't work. I don't recall. I don't believe. Excuse me. Now, if your OBS audio input is that, okay, that's coming in. That will work. And then set the Zoom microphone. Now, you wouldn't want to do Zoom mic to do both because you're introducing a loop. Because if you're bringing in audio into OBS and make sure you don't have audio out and monitor output on in OBS, is not playing anything out. Yeah, I think that's introducing a lot of complexity that I personally would not do. I would just pick one. So like for me, at my church, I have audio coming from my presentation system into our X32 over USB, but audio out is going over dual XLR out to a 3.5 millimeter, so that the paths are different. I'm sure it can work. I have not figured out how to do that, but I think that's introducing a little bit of complexity that honestly I would have to sit down and map out how that would work. Personally, right now, I don't know how that would work, so I separated those. I only have either audio going out on USB or in. I don't do both at the same time. Good morning. Good morning. Next question for Philip Paul. A person who has to set up OBS Zoom lyrics for church service, he normally will be able to be in church before 15-minute service starts due to work. What is the best way to get it done before he reaches church? What setup would be good for him? Let me go back to question. This person has to set up OBS, Zoom, lyrics for church service. I mean, well, first off, let's segment and let's chop this stuff up. When you're saying he has to get the lyrics set up, that's something that technically, again, this is my assumption. I don't know exactly what you mean when you say set up lyrics. Is it something like, for me, I can go in right now and set up the lyrics for Songs for Sunday because I don't have to wait till then. Now, if he's not getting it before then, the easiest way is to do that is get somebody to deliver it earlier. And then when you're saying set up Zoom, what do you mean? Are you setting up like screen captures or something like that, or just a Zoom meeting? Because you can set up a recurring meeting and then you don't have to do anything except for just log in. And then also setting up OBS. I just need a definition of what does set up mean, because a lot of that stuff can be set up ahead of time. So one time and it's just recurring. What are your preferred specs on a presentation PC? 16 gigs of memory. Personally, I stick with a Ryzen 5 series or higher. Get a graphics card that at least has 4 outs if possible, 4 display outs, and a 512 gigabyte to 1 terabyte NVMe. That's mainly what I would use on the base of everything, and that destroys any presentation software that I've used. Frederick, hi, I'm having sound problems when using ProPresenter and to A10 Mini. Like, what type of sound problems? Need some more details on that so I can help you out with that. And folks, if you don't mind taking a second, would you please go ahead and hit that like button for me? Hit the subscribe button. I would hope you would have that. The only way you can comment on live streams on Friday is you have to be a subscriber. That helps get away from a bunch of foolishness and people doing some nonsense. I had to deal with that at my church service Sunday. Just tomfoolery. Yeah. So make sure y'all do that. And then again, thank y'all for chiming in wherever y'all is. I appreciate that. Facebook, Twitch, all that other good stuff. So let me see what's going on out there. I haven't seen anything much out there. Let me go back in here. Oh, wrong link. Let's see. Why did his question not come through? I had a question from Michael and I didn't see it. So that's the only thing I have with Facebook and vMix Social. Sometimes it doesn't, it's very slow to bring up comments coming from that. But anyway, Michael's question was, I have a client that wants to install 2 PTZ cameras on the left and the right wall and 1 stationary handheld in the center of the sanctuary. What's the best PTZ under $1,000 recommendation and what controller to use about it? They have their first A10 Mini. Honestly, a lot of the ones that I've used Famacos. That's what this camera is. That's a Famaco right there. I have the A-Video1 controller that I'm using right now. If you want to use IP ones, that will make it easier because then you don't have to daisy chain different cameras. The Famacos, the A-Video1s, the Percils, the AV cans, all of them are going to get you in that sub $1,000 range. And quite honestly, a lot of them perform exactly the same. It's just your preference. Like, I know SMT AV is another brand. They're the only ones that I know where the cameras come in white. All the rest of them are kind of like in a cobalt, gray, gunmetal, black type of stuff. So if you didn't want one of those colors, SMT AV would get you those. And all of those are in that sub $700 price. And then you can get an IP joystick as low as $250, or you can get the standard RS-232 one that is around $300. But then these are the ones that have to be daisy chained to every single camera. So that adds a little bit of complexity in here, and YouTube is looking to put an ad in. Sorry, folks. So you have that. So, I mean, I've used a couple of brands of those that you can get that will give you that type of performance, that would get you in around like the $350 range for the controller. But those cameras, look through any of them. I mean, Famaco, SMT AV, Persil, A-Video 1, AV Cans, all of those will meet those level. And honestly, I've used all of them. You couldn't, if I put all of them up and I just put their image quality up, no one would be able to tell the difference, to be quite honest, because that's how close they look, the same. Let me see. Man, my apologies. Ray L. Good morning, sir. We follow your video, and now we have a Ryzen 7 Pro Radeon Graphics desktop processor, Core 8, CPU cache 32, 1 terabyte SSD. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad it helps. Hello, Jackie. You jumped over from Facebook, but hey, I'm thinking whichever direction you're on, so I appreciate it. So back to Philip Paul, he was saying, meaning that he wants, when he gets to church, it's all ready to go. Well, I mean, if you use Presenter, it has a cloud-based access that he can download it and set up everything from home. Zoom, I mean, is, again, you set that up as recurring. There's nothing that really needs to be repeated, as well as OBS. So I think the main thing is just doing your lyrics. That could be done from home, and then everything else can be done. I hope that makes sense. Okay, when you just said somebody else is setting it up from home. So I don't know. I think it's just probably need to get streamlined with what you got. I mean, because you're already there. It's just putting the last few pieces together. As long as the Zoom is a recurring meeting, you can make it recur out for an entire year. That makes it straightforward. All you got to do is turn everything on in the right order, and then connect to the Zoom, and you're good. All right, my cousin Derek here. Hey, cuz, finally got a chance to join the group again. Could have been in earlier if I had realized that was a different account. Thank you, sir. Thank you. AJ, you are godsend. Thank you, and may God continue. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gaspomint. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Hello, please. How do I solve the issue of the HDMI out not stop working? Not working. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, when did it stop? And then also, do you have anything around it that's making it overheat? Because most of the time, that Blackmagic stuff, it would end. I mean, some of the HDMI outs would die because it overheated, like the original television studio, the 1U one. That died on me because it was a heating issue. Somebody left it on overnight, and it died out. It slowly would shut off different jacks to try and maintain itself. Make sure there's nothing around it. But if it's dead, I mean, you could try and install an older firmware just to see if it comes back. But what isolated when it stopped working? If it just stopped working, it might be that the HDMI actually became unsoldered from the motherboard from a heat type of standpoint. At that point, most of those have a year warranty on them. I would probably see if you can reach back out to Blackmagic and see if you can get an RMA on it. That's honestly, because I mean, if it failed and software doesn't fix it, I mean, it's a hardware issue, unfortunately. Battle rap here, outlet. My Behringer X32 USB isn't being recognized by my computer. Do you have the latest version of the software for that? You can get that from Behringer's site. And if we cut over here, not to that camera, we're kind of cut over here. Cut over here, and let's go to our downloads. Make sure you go here for our mixers, digital mixers. X32 software. Make sure you have the latest version of software from here. And then also you could come up here to your device manager and make sure you don't have anything showing any flags like my Bluetooth one, because I turned that off. Make sure you don't have anything inside of sound and video that's not off. And then also make sure that your USB is not powered off or anything like that. Try a different cable as well too. That's be the first thing I would try for that, and make sure I get on the right camera when I come back. Mom's video. Good morning. My 18-minute stream iShow cache has filled 30 minutes into service. Only streaming at 3 to 4 megabits. No problems in weeks. Any suggestions? If it's being filled up, it is an issue with your local network, your ISP, or what you're trying to connect to. That's the only thing that causes that cache. So if all of a sudden you're having an issue, this is what happened with us. At my church, we started getting a caching issue like crazy because it was on Comcast side. It was nothing that we can do about it because it was internet related. Try as a test, try and stream to like a different platform just to see if you get the same thing. Because if you go to a different platform, you get the exact same thing. It's not the platform. It's not the problem. It's not the ATEM that's the problem. It's some form of connection, which the bridge in between that is your ISP. That's the first thing I would try and do a speed test, see how consistent it is. Like, for example, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can log in and show you, which is another reason why I love the Unify stuff. I've reached out to them a couple of times and they didn't respond back to me. Boo. But anyway, I like their product anyway, so I don't care what they say. If they don't say anything, I'm waiting for my Unify dashboard to show up. All right, so like, for example, here is my church's connection, and they're with Comcast. And I like this because it shows that at 4:51, between 4:53, the internet completely was off. The whole console was offline at 2 a.m., but that was because it was doing an update. And it showed a latency change for 10 minutes at 7, and then it did another one at 11:10, 11:20. So I like this because I can go there and show them, hey, look, this stuff is off and it's not performing well. And it shows me a history of what's going on with their stuff. I like that because, again, it can show you, hey, what was the history around this time when everything went down? Was this a problem? Was it good, bad, whatever? So, like, for example, like if I go back to mine, now here with my internet, it's been consistent, and this shouldn't have any issues. I was going to do a speed test, but I think we should be good. I don't want to do that, even though, no, I should be able to do it. So if I run a speed test right now, so that's download. And yeah, my upload is around 500. Yeah, so those are my speeds. So I like to do that. And plus this, I think every 6 hours, it does a scan just to test what the speed is. But yeah, it's sometimes, I don't know why Comcast has been having some issues recently, but I would check that stuff. John, we're using OBS to stream with an X-Air 18. Your thoughts on sending the service to rooms in an overflow room? All right, now, are you using any type of, how many display outs are you using with OBS? Because just like I'm doing right now, you can't see it. Should I cut over to that camera? Yeah, there we go. All right, so you can't probably see it. I'm using OBS right now. Not OBS, excuse me. I'm using vMix, but it does the same thing. To use this other portable monitor for me to read what's going on. So this is just how it will work for a, if you want to send that audio out to a different monitor. So what I would do with OBS, you would come in here. If your computer supports multiple outputs, my system has 4 outputs. This other system, my main work system, has 4 outputs. I would just run a cable from that, and inside of OBS, it would give me the option to output. So, and again, my OBS isn't working. I don't know why it's not working on this system. But either way, that's how I would do it. And I've done it at other places. I did that at First Baptist Church of South Lynchburg, OBS, was its hub. And we connected all the TVs to a Decklink mini monitor out. Inside of the OBS, we say project full screen. And actually, let me just show it. So it's not just me talking to the wind. So I'll do this first scene here. So right here. So we have this going on right now. Now, let me cut back over to this so you can see everything. So right here, I'm running OBS, but this is my other monitor. So inside of OBS here, I can right click and go full screen projector and pick any of the other monitors that I have connected to. I should have used that so Anthony, you can see it. So there's my picture in picture. So I can select this. So if I pick the LG monitor and now I cut out here, as you can see, it's putting this full screen that's coming from OBS. That's how that would work if you were sending OBS to your other systems. You can have an HDMI out or whatever output that you want coming from your your computer that's running OBS, and then let it go to a splitter. Then the splitter can go to as many TVs as you want. Or like I've used, you can have it go out to a Thor or an HDMI modulator that turns it into a TV channel, and then all the TVs will pick it up like it's a TV channel. That's the same thing that we did at New Hope. I don't know why I stuttered there for a second, because I haven't done that video because I fell asleep before I finished it. It was the final tour of the church. So let me bring it up. That's the 22nd. So if I bring this up, trying to skip forward to it. So that's going through the channels there, and that's ultimately was from that unit right there. So that is taking the HDMI in, sending it over coax to a distribution, and it shows up as a TV channel on all the other channels. I think it's, set to channel 2. So all the TVs that are connected over coax, it does it that way. Then you ain't got to worry about cables. Then you can just buy a bulk coax cable that's very cheap, and you just run that to each TV. Makes it really, really easy. Be on the lookout for that video. I'm going to finish that today, and that's just the tour. I actually got to go back down there because one of the amps were blown. So I got to replace the amp. But the whole system, everything down there is done. Let's see. T wants to know, does the B55M need BIOS updated? Well, it depends. Which motherboard are you talking about? The first thing to do is when you turn it on, just see what firmware it's on, and that will determine if you need to update it or not. Norm wants to know which motherboard to use with at least 3 HDMI DVI outputs. I am not aware of any motherboard that has that many outputs. That's all in your graphics card. You want to at least look for at least a 2070 or higher, or for the NVIDIA one that will give you that many outputs natively on the graphics card, or you want to get a 6700, Radeon 6700. That will give you that many outputs as well too. Metroy, is there a way to lower the multi-view video feed from the AJay Mini Pro as the TV being used does not support? Yes, you can. So if we cut back over here, let's turn this off. Inside your settings, and you go to multi-view. Oop, I was already there. If you have, wait a minute, let me take that back. If you have the AJay Mini Pro, no, it is always going to be 1080p. Now, you could put a scaler on it like the up down cross HD by Blackmagic. That's $150, and then that changes the scale. But honestly, at $150, I mean, the monitors that I use for my computers, it's a 27-inch monitor. It's $110. I even use something. Can I get this camera to see it? Let me see. I don't think I'm in an angle. You can see it. Oh yeah, I can turn it this way. Like me, I'm using something like this that's 1080p, and this is just a field monitor. That's what I have used right now, just so I can see what the output that's coming from the web presenter, which is the same output expected from the ATEM. That thing was like $60. But granted, it is small. But again, you can get a 1080p monitor for very, very cheap. I've seen them even for like $90. Or like the portable monitor that I'm using that folds down. That was $100. So, but if you're using the ATEM Mini, no, it will always push out 1080p, 1080p something for the output. You can't change the display that I am aware of. Travis, have you heard or have taken a look at free show presentation software? I'm curious to see how it compares to the other free. No, I have not, but let me go to that link right now so that way I can actually have it. Because I had notes and then we lost power, so I didn't have it. So I will look at this. So for those who are interested in what Travis was talking about, it is this here, freeshow.app. Looks interesting. I will bookmark this and I will come back to look at that. Thank you for that. Man, that's a good thing. It's so much stuff that's out there that, you know, no one person can know it all. So let me take a break of a second and let me try and show y'all some other stuff. Y'all saw the glow just changed on me. That was because of the window just opened up. I'm going to start doing a series of stuff to show you how I'm putting everything together for the Bible trivia. So let me actually get this green off of me right now. So the very first thing, I am implementing and using ProPresenter to do this because that's what I have at my church. And I have my Bible trivia stuff here. And we got, you know, our questions and all this other stuff set up. And these are old questions, so that's fine that I have this on here. That we're going to be replacing so that people can see it. I got my, let me change this here. I got my little window here. Slide this over. My little fire effects, and then I got my questions showing up and everything. And I got them set on a timer, so it's a certain amount of time before they jump to the next question. It's a 30-second timer. Let me change this right now to 10 seconds for right now, for purposes right now. So if I go here now, after 10 seconds, it will automatically go to the next. At my church, this is going to be on the digital wall, and the stage display is going to be something completely different so that it doesn't show the answer, but it shows their countdown time, which I need to change that to 10 seconds. But before it goes to the next question. So that's how I have set up. That part is easy. Now, the other thing I came across, contrary to what I've done when I was streaming sports for high schools and things like that, I used to use Live Score, which is great. But the problem when I'm trying to do this for our Bible trivia is we have multiple teams, and there are very few sports that have more than 2 teams. So I came across this wonderful little app, and it's scorecount.com. It is completely free. And you can change every aspect of this. You can come in here and say, I want to have a title. I want to have team score, labels, timer, shot clock, players, possessions, fouls, penalties, timeouts, rankings. You can put all this stuff here. And then you can change the background. Like you see, I changed mine to green to make it easy. Now, once we get out of that, I'm going to drag this over to another screen. So I got that over there. Now let's open up OBS. And where's it at? Yeah, Bible Trivia. That's some leftover stuff from here. Let me turn that off. So what I'm going to do is when I'm live, really? You're going to crash on me? All right. So in that same window, I am now going to do a window capture, and there's my scoreboard. All right. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to turn off some of this because I don't need some of this stuff. Let's change the size down a little bit. I don't need the timer. I don't need shots. Players, period. No, period I do need. Ranking, penalties, fouls, possessions, title. I don't need none of that because this is going to be for trivia. We got multiple teams. I can change the size. If you don't like the wording in here, you can click the pencil and then you can change this. This used to say period. I have round. You can do team 2, team 1. All right. And now that I got that done, I can save that. You could use it as a web page, but I'm going to keep it like this. So now that I got this, and actually let me shift this down a little bit more. All right. So I got this. Now inside of OBS, we're going to hold down Alt and we're going to bring this screen down some and cut out all the extra stuff we don't need. And we got it here. So I'm going to also bring in my source. I'm going to loop this. I have a background image. I'm just going to grab one thing just to speed through this. Where's it at? Bible trivia. Where's my, or do I have it under Signs and Wonders? I think I do. Bible trivia. And then I have this background. And we're going to put this behind it. And look, don't that look great? No, it doesn't. You got to resize it. So because I'm using that green, I can control this from the web page, but everybody can see the score. So I'm going to resize this. And because we have that solid color, we're just going to add a filter on it, plus chroma key, boom. And there we go. And let's lock it in place. So now that's going to be a scene that I bring up in the house as well as on our live stream. And then when people get the questions right, I just click over here and up. Guess what? They're up by 20 points. This team got 10. This one got 5. And this one got 0. You know, I would be doing this, not typing it live so people would see it. And then once it's done, I have somebody typing in the score. Boom, we cut over to the scene. So that's how we're going to be handling the score. That's how we have our questions. Now, back to Anthony's question, surprisingly, I'm going to be using the super source to have a camera cut, just like you saw me in this super source right here, where I'm this little sliver of window. I'm going to have that ×4 for each of the teams so that you can see each team at the same time. So again, this is how you can flip what we're doing on a daily basis on our services and turn it into a fun little escapade for Bible trivia and all this other fun stuff. So I'm going to leave that in the comments. Scoreboard app. So if anybody is interested in using that, that is what I'm going to do. And again, I would have used the other stuff, but again, they don't have a way for me to have multiple teams, more than 2 teams. That's the reason why I'm using it. So let me go back over here to Facebook, make sure nobody is asking any questions because their app's not coming through. And I spelled scoreboard wrong, so my bad. All right, let's see where we left off. Philip Paul wants to know, what's the difference between a PoE switch and an internet switch? Don't necessarily know about an internet switch, but a PoE switch sends power over Ethernet on some, if not all, of the jacks. So like the switch that I have that's powering my camera is an 8-port switch. 4 of those ports supply power over the Ethernet cable too. So it's powering my joystick, the camera, my phone, my office phone. That's what 3 of those are powering. And the 4th one is powering the switch that's going to where the cameras and everything are behind me. John, back to his original comment. We have 3 outputs. Only the computer screen is used. Okay. Grace Place Church, which is the church I believe I'll be visiting in California. Good morning. Have you heard of Flowix? I tried to get in contact with the company, but they weren't responding to my emails from Yahoo or Gmail. Any thoughts? Flowix. I've never heard of them. Let me see. Flowix. Oh, maybe if I spell it right. Flowix, powering producers. That's interesting. I've never heard of them. The most comprehensive cloud-based platform powering remote and in-studio production for live graphics, content, linear digital broadcasters. No, I've never heard of them. Interesting. Now, my question is, this is the thing I always say. If the price ain't listed, it must be serious. Because I don't even see where they show their offerings. But let's see, sports. The sports will probably be the most costly of them. I like all of that. I really like all of that. I love to play around with that. But they don't have streaming integration. So it has a Stream Deck plugin. That's cool. And it has polls. Man, if I can get that working, I think this might be cool if you can implement this over vMix Social. And this would give, because vMix Social doesn't give you polls and stuff like that. But I think this would be cool. Thank you. I might have to reach out to them and see what they're talking about. Because they don't say nothing from a price standpoint, which I'm leery of stuff like that. But because I can't recommend nothing if you don't even tell me the price. Jerry, we're using the Canon R800, which unfortunately they've stopped production of those cameras. I'm working on getting some other sub $500 cameras and review those. But we're using the Canon R800 to hide the PTZ movement. The Canon power switch is not easy to get to. Is it okay to leave the Canon camera on all the time? I mean, personally, I don't like leaving anything on for a long period of time. The easiest thing for those cameras, because they stay, well, like I have some Sony Handycams that are at my church, and that's hard to say. Because those were very cost efficient cameras, but like you said, they had to be, I thought they turned off and on when you open up the side door. Now you could leave it plugged in and close the side door, and I think that powers the camera off. You could try that. See if that works. That's a great suggestion there, Derek. I would like worship tools to allow people to highlight positions of scripture, portions of scripture. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I don't recall seeing even ProPresenter or any of the other ones doing that. That's a great idea. Streets of Destiny, yeah, that's kind of interesting though, because I mean, the Facebook feed is bouncing through Vimeo, then the Facebook. YouTube is just going straight, so not sure. Chris, is there any change my camcorder with output of only 1080i setting can run it to 1080p like that? Is there any chance my camcorder with output of only 1080p setting can run? Well, it depends on which ATEM. If you're using any of the ATEM minis, they will upscale it to that. It takes whatever input on each input coming in and scales it up to the general settings for the ATEM. So it would work for that. The McCoy Agency, yes. You mentioned the joystick you're using is the AVideo1. Yes, AVIDEONE. And I recently did a review on that. But yeah, it's really good. Really. Dead Space gameplay. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's very good joystick. Really, really like it. I actually ordered another one for the install that I am getting ready to do at Shiloh. So if we cut over here, yeah, so I did the audio. I guess I need to take this other one down. It was this video here where I did the breakdown of that video. And why is that video stuttering like that? Well, anyway, I'm missing my other hashtag on there. That's strange. But yeah, but that is where I did this video on that joystick. Rhonda, no problem. The other AJ, what's going on? My question is, if you have any idea about the Behringer XR18 digital mixer. Yes, I have used that. What is your question about it? Because I'm finding a new mixer for our church on a budget. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, granted, you have to control it completely. Well, let me make sure I get this right. I think that's the one that looks like, yeah, I've used that one. The only thing with that is everything is controlled through an iPad. If you're fine with that, I mean, it works great. Earl Stewart wants to know, what's the best camera in your opinion to use for a live stream? If it can be manned, I like the Canon. I like the Canon G50. That's what this one is. I like this. Great. Good 4K camera, very sturdy, gives you output, gives you remote control. You can put this here, put a link controller on it, and you can zoom in and out, turn it on and off. From there, you just can't move it back and forth, but great camera for that. And that's going for around $1,099, so $1,100 for this type of camera. If you're looking for something that needs to be controlled, any of the PTZs that I mentioned, SMT AV, Famaco, Persil, AV cans, A Video One, any of those are going to get you around like $700. Then you add the joystick, you're going to be at the same price of just this. So any of those will work. Now, do you need it to have embedded audio, or are you bringing audio from a mixer? If you don't have any audio, you put a nice shotgun mic on this, or a wireless on the Talent, or a wireless mic hooked up to the podium, and this will be good. Those PTZs do not have audio. You could hook a mic up to them, but at that point, use your sound system in the church for that. That's what I would recommend. Now, if you're looking for anything under $1,000 right now, it's kind of hard for me to recommend because a lot of the cameras I used to recommend, they don't make them anymore. I think the Panasonic V770 is still around. That's around like $550. It has Wi-Fi control, but you know, some of those work fine. Where was that? The Casa Smart Switch and plugs are a very good idea. How did you wire the switch to be plugged into power? I am by no means an electrician. Hey, you don't have to worry about it. I consulted some people. I've done my electrical stuff was back in the Marines, and I was almost 20 years ago when I was in, which is surprising. It was 20 years ago. But honestly, you're looking for basic. I did run it through some electricians, and think about it. The plug that you use, and I left it at church, you have your ground, green, you have your hot, black, and you have your neutral, which is white. That's the exact same plugs that plug into an outlet. All I did was use the WIGO plugs where you just slide the cable in and they snap in place. That's it. I did a video that talks about that. Very, very straightforward. I've done it. I did it about a year and a half ago, and those things are working perfectly fine without any form of issues. And I was using that at my church the exact same way until I actually wired them in the wall recently, and they work great. Consistent power, no problems at all. Follow-up question from Chris. When I plug the camcorder on in ATEM, the video seems wavy, even in a cheap capture card run through there. Is there any way I can do? When you see it wavy like that, it's most likely because it's interlaced. And you just want to try and change the settings to play. If you have an option of moving it to progressive scan on your camera, try and do that, and that normally gets away from that. I had that issue as well too until I moved everything to a form of 1080p, because people were moving too fast for first, and then the waviness was because of that. Philip Paul here. If you need to do the slides for sermons normally, how many days before you required to get the sermons and Bible verses? Thankfully, my pastor's kind of quick on the draw. Actually, let me see. I think he's already sent me the message for Sunday already. Let's see. Normally, so no, he sent me the one for Bible study this past Wednesday. I haven't gotten it yet for Sunday. I'm probably going to get it here in a little bit. But thankfully, like with my pastor, I'm designing the thumbnails. So it doesn't really take me that long unless he has something really out there that I have to put something together for. But most of the time, I would either get it by this afternoon or about noon by tomorrow. The songs for the lyrics and everything like that, they actually have been in the system since Wednesday because they have a follow-up after Bible study. The praise team practices then, and that music has already been put in the system by Tuesday. So the only thing I'm really waiting for is my pastor stuff, the title and his sermon. And then we're trying to get back into the announcements, and I got to train everybody on getting organized with using the forms and everything and submitting. No one has submitted it. That's why I haven't seen anything, but we're getting to that. Thank you. The audio is coming from a PA system. I'm currently using the Canon 80D. Please send me the link when you can. Sure thing. I only recommend stuff that I'm used. So I'm mentioning AVideo1, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but that camera should be here today, if not tomorrow. And we'll see how that works. So I will send you the link for the Canon G50. Putting that out here right now. And I'm going to put that over here on Facebook as well, too. I wish they had a centralized way that I can just type the comments in one place and it goes to both when it comes from me. I would like for it to be able to do that. One more question from Chris. Any recommendation on a brand and model 18-channel mixer other than the Behringer XR18? Well, it all depends. Do you want Yamaha has some good ones. 18-channel, let me see. Because that's what I used to use originally. You can check out, it's not 18, but you can check out the MG20XU. I've used one of those. That is this one right here. Gives you a lot of functionality, and it is a physical one. But, I mean, that works well, but it does have USB on the back. So you can send audio to your computer over USB digitally, and works very well as well, too. So link to that one I will put in the comments. That's Sweetwater, but actually it says it's only 5 of them left. Let me see if I can find it on Amazon as well, too. Yep, it is on here. Ooh, they got a heavy delay. No, it's going to, oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. So, Yamaha 20-channel mixer. There you go. And let's put this on the Book of Faces. And then I think we're going to be shutting it down, folks. I gotta put a camera up at my church, then pick my daughter up, and then I'm being slow. I have not packed for California at all. Let me fire off these last 2 questions, and then we will be done for the day. AJ here. My second question is, OBS has inbuilt plug-in multi-stream. So when I use it, how much bit sit in default? Well, it all depends on your upload speed. Honestly, if it supports it, I like to match it. Make sure that your internet can handle it and your computer can handle it. Most of the time, the setting is just duplicate whatever is coming from your mainstream. But again, that depends on your system and what your upload speed is. You don't, if you only have 10 kilobits a second that you're able to upload, 10 megabits a second, you're able to upload, you're going to be kind of limited if you try to max the same thing out. So just be mindful of that. Ty, what's the ballpark entry price for an economy media system hardware only? 2 cameras, mid-size media system hardware only, 2 to 4 cameras, and premium media system hardware. Now, are you just talking about the cameras, controller, the mixer, and the computer, or need a little bit of details? For me, if I did something like that, you're ranging from, not including labor to actually get it done, you're looking at maybe 3,000 on the low end. I mean, and then when you go into that, a 4 camera system, you're looking at maybe up to, I don't know, maybe like 8,000, something like that, in that range. It's kind of hard for me to say without knowing the exact specifics, but if I was going bare minimum of, I'm building a system for you, that would be 1,000. Going with an ATEM Extreme, that's another 1,000. That's 2,000. A joystick, 300. That's 23. Then you're going for each one of the cameras, and I'll say they're $650 each. No, just go 700. That's 14. So you're looking at maybe around $3,400, and that's not even including accessories like cables and all this other stuff to go between. So you're looking in between, going bare minimum around like 3,000 to 3,500 for low end, up to maybe around like 8,000. And again, that's still without labor doing that. John wants to know, what RF mod am I using? I'm using the Thor RF modulator, Petite. Thor Petite HDMI RF modulator. That's what I'm using. Some other people have used some cheaper ones. I have not got my hands on one. I've used this Thor one about 7 times. It's going for $495, and it has been rock solid for the last 6 years at my old church, and then the other churches I've been using. I have not had any issues at all. That's what I've used. I will put that in the description. I do have a review of that when I used it. Let's see, how many times have I ordered this? Yeah, I've ordered it 3 times. It's going for $469.65 right now on Amazon. You may be able to get it cheaper if you went directly from them. But I think, I mean, there's other ones people said they got it for $295 and they haven't had any issues with it. I might want to play around with that before I can recommend it. Philip Paul, question: with the internet speed of 60 megabits per second up and down, can ATEM Mini Extreme do streaming? What is the megabits per second needed to do 1080? Well, with the ATEM Mini, you don't have to worry about that, because like right now, I'm streaming with the web presenter that uses the same type of codec engine and coding, whatever, that the ATEM does. And at 4K, because that's what I'm streaming at right now, I'm doing 39 megabits per second upload speed. But when I was doing 1080p, it was going at 9. So that's using the high setting. At medium, it would be 7. If it was low, it would be around like 6. So I think you should be fine. All righty. Well, thank you. That guy, Rob, appreciate it. Okay, I'm using 6,000 betrayed for YouTube and same. I'm sending to Facebook, but it's creating a problem. What can I do to solve this problem? I mean, I would say lower it. Lower it to maybe like 3,000, because the minimum is 2,500. Try that. All right. I think that is it for me, folks. Like I said, be on the lookout on the Facebook group. If we change, I think we may still lean on doing a roundtable on Sunday. My flight doesn't leave until 2, so I need to be up out of here at noon. So I'll have plenty of time. I can sleep on the plane. But I think that's about it. But big shout out to all my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Thank you so much for making me being able to do stuff like this. Their continued support has allowed me to do this. So I'm very thankful for that. And you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us transform and modernize media ministries all over the world. What else we got going on? I think that's about it, except for the last thing. If no one's ever told you, thank you for all the hard work that you are doing, folks. You might not be at my church. I might not be at your church, but guess what? We're on the same team. If you are helping share the message with somebody else on the side of the world and they get to know this person named Jesus Christ, guess what? We have won. And that's what it's all about. I don't believe in competition. I believe in complementing. That's what we do here. No matter what I can do, I would do the best as I can to help you make your journey a little bit easier so that you can reach more. And that's what it's all about. So thank you for all the work that you are doing, the continuous studying, the extra hours, all that other stuff that's beyond, that you're going beyond your call of duty to do what you're doing. I appreciate it. And again, because what we do is sometimes the most thankless job, but I want to thank you personally for everything that you're doing. What you do matters. If you weren't where you're at, something would be missing. You are needed. You are valued. Know your worth. And you have the desires that you have because God gave them. And everything that you're doing is on purpose. So I'm excited about that. And I hope whatever I do can help you make it a much easier. And at least with roundtables like this, you're getting around kindred folks that you can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and you know you're talking with people who have gone in the battle with you. So thank you so much, folks, for watching. No matter where you are in this good day, evening, afternoon, wherever you is, all over the face of the planet, I just want to say love y'all, appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, day, wherever you is, and we'll be seeing y'all in the next video, folks. Later.